Yeah.
So that we unmuted now.
Can you hear us now?
Can anyone hear us now?
Yes. I think. Can anyone hear us?
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Right, sorry about that, but yeah, we had a few technical difficulties with the microphone there, but I think you can all hear us now, so we're back in action.
So it's a bit late, but hello and welcome to ALR Bronze Season 4 Round 3 Italy, or whatever, Season 3 Round 4 Italy. So, yeah, massive technical difficulties. I think Emerson's an idiot.
Me? It wasn't me.
Alright, well, whatever.
Together. Right.
We're both idiots, or something went wrong, so at least we got it fixed now before the race, at least. So, no idea what happened in Q3.
Well, I can tell you Ginger Rage is out, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing that there must have been a few crashes as well, because we've only got 14 drivers into the next session as well. So it's going to be interesting now to see what people tyre-wise go on. So it's going to be a bit rushed on our part, because we have missed the first few minutes of qualifying 2 as well, and obviously the whole of qualifying 1 as well. As yeah, so let's get into it. As Jamie's just about to start his lap, or he's about to finish it. Yeah, just about to finish it. He's choosing the softs, and he's on a 1:22.6, which I don't think is that's fast.
Yeah, I think you're looking at least towards the 120s, 119s.
Especially on those soft compound tyres. As well, Lewis Williams has just proved that he's done a 1:20.9 on the mediums compared to Dylan, who we've kind of seen the last few weeks. He's a quick customer in bronze this season, and Lewis Williams has gone quicker than Dylan on the medium tyres. So I suppose we're probably looking that Dylan probably didn't do the best of laps, you would probably presume, and he's probably going to want to go again, or he's doing a bank lap on those soft tyres and he's going to want to try and get that delta in to do a medium run later on. But we've got Shadders now coming through Parabolica now, and he's also on the soft compound tyres.
He missed last week, but he's definitely one of the favourites for the race.
Yeah, he's just opening up the DRS now, coming up across the line, and he's just gone in between Jamie and Dylan on a 1:22.3. Which again, it must be a cracking time that by Lewis Williams there to go quicker than all of these drivers on those medium compound tyres.
Do you think these are just safe times at the minute? Because we've seen other drivers go like a lot quicker. We've seen Gold go in the 18s, some silver drivers in 18s, most bronze drivers were in the 19s. So I think most bronze drivers should be aiming for like the top 20s around that, I think.
So sorry, Serious Mushroom has just confirmed that it was a used soft run for Dylan, so he's just getting that bank lap in. But Lewis Williams and Vintage both obviously decided to do that medium run in, get it in early. The delta between the mediums and the softs around here is about like 8.5, 9 tenths of a second. So it's going to be close, because I think someone did point out while we were trying to sort everything out that pretty much the whole grid from 1st to 16th was covered by just under a second. So I think it's going to be impossible, well, somewhat impossible to get through on those medium compound tyres. But I suppose we're going to have to see what's.
Do we know? Anyone say what the weather was going to be? Or?
I believe it did say someone say it was just a bit cloudy.
No, so it's not going to rain.
So yeah, I don't think we got any rain, but I could be wrong. So yeah, we've got Malski now on his out lap. He's just started his lap. He's just come through the first chicane. He's going around the Curve de Grande now. We obviously had that famous incident with Hamilton and Vettel a few years back.
Also, one of my favourite overtakes, Daniel Ricciardo on Sebastian Vettel as well.
Oh,
yeah, switchback.
The double.
His famous switchback.
The double bluffy as well.
Yeah.
I know which one you mean. I'm not. Again, I know there's a lot of drivers in this, but I don't really sure who. Oh, as Leclerc's retired from this session, did he have a Q2 ban potentially?
I'm not sure. I'll have a look.
I suppose he might have done it, or he might have possibly put it in the wall. I'm not seeing any yellow flags or anything, so I presume he might have done. Yeah, I'm just have a quick look through the comments on this stream. Leclerc did crash then, as Serious Mushroom just say. As Gunnar has said, about time Dumb and Dumber are here. Yeah, sorry about that one.
Blame Sony and PlayStation for making stupid menus and... Yeah.
So Marvsky has just gone at 1:19.7. He's gone up to P1 at the minute on the soft tyres. So that's a pretty good lap from him, which he's probably not going to be able to beat on those medium tyres. So that he's going to be pretty comfortable on that set, and he's going to be wanting to start on those soft tyres. Maybe not feeling as comfortable on this circuit. But yeah, it's a big shame for Leclerc, considering he did win last week out. I mean, we had a really, really good battle between him and this man here in that Mercedes car, Theo. And personally, I think it probably could be overtaking the season. It'd be hard to beat that, as Theo did finish second. And where's he going to put the Mercedes car now on those medium tyres? He puts himself into P2 now for Q2. So P2 is a really strong position for those medium tyres. Again, I don't think if everyone does go out on the soft tyres that he is going to be able to make it through, because it's just such a big gap between the compounded tyres around here. As Jamie's on the softs, I think he might be going for a third flying lap.
Kamara Racer's just retired.
Yeah, I think he's put it in the wall with Kamara. Yeah,
just after Scari.
Just after the Lesmos, that is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh. As Roscoe has just driven past him on his outlap.
I think those two maybe showing signs of what kind of setups they're running.
Yeah, they could be running obviously a more race kind of setup, and yeah, it's just not really comfortable through the fast flowing corners. So
we've got a bit of traffic coming up for reflection, I think.
Yeah, Roscoe's just on his outlap, so hopefully Roscoe might not get into his way into the parabolica. So reflection choosing those soft compound tyres as well. So he's probably he's thinking he's not worth the time to be on those medium tyres, as he's going to cross the line now, and he puts himself into P2 ahead of Jamie, also on those soft tyres, on a 1:19.8, which is just a tenth, exactly a tenth actually, in fact, behind Marvsky. So yeah, they're setting the pace at the minute as
Jamie's going off.
Just getting out the way.
Doesn't want to stop, otherwise he'll be disqualified, so he might want to...
Yeah, he needs to be careful on that one, but yeah, he's probably just getting out the way of these few drivers, I suppose. But
he shouldn't stop on track or off track. I'd just like to mention that we've got a joint sort of like battle in the standings, as Reflection and I have both got 37 points. So we're looking to see maybe who can go ahead today in the championship.
Well, Dylan's just about to set another lap on the second set. Well, the same set of medium tyres. He's going for another run now on these tyres. So he will have another lap potentially to another go at coming in, putting the softs on if this lap isn't that great. But I think he's on the cusp at the minute, because you have got a fair few drivers like Sammy and Roscoe, and RDW on this day definitely can be up there. So
it's good to see RDW qualify actually.
Yeah, obviously the last couple of weeks he's
he shows that he's got his pace to get through into Q2. So
well, we didn't really know what happened in Q1 though. So
true.
So yeah, Dylan. Who was that? Sorry. Roscoe puts himself up to P4 in the Ferrari.
Fastest of the medium so far.
Yeah, so the last few weeks, both him and Crystal Mays, they've been like the standout performers for me. I know they might not be leading the championship, but I think, in Hungary, was it Crystal Mays who got unlucky? Or did Crystal Mays win it in Hungary? I'm not quite sure.
I think it was Leclerc that got unlucky in Hungary.
Yeah, it was. So, but the Ferrari's done a really, really good job being in P3 and P4 in the championship and leading the way in the constructors at the minute. As we've just got, is that Jamie's McLaren? Yeah, just in low fuel mode, I believe. So Roscoe, that's a cracking lap from him off P4 and those medium tyres. Probably going to come into the pits now and maybe have a look at other people's times and see who goes out on the softs and assess the situation from then on, I suppose, and see if he does have the time and the space to not have to go out on those soft tyres, because obviously the best strategy is the reverse strategy of being on the mediums to the softs.
Just having a look at the table at the minute, and ALR Vintage is looking in pretty fast because he obviously one of the drivers who hasn't got a point yet. So it'd be good to see if he can get some points, as well as the other drivers who haven't scored any yet.
But Sammy just invalidated his first run on the medium tyres, so hopefully he's got enough fuel again to go on for another lap, because I don't think he's got not a lot of time now to get a lap on the board. Otherwise, we're going to see Sammy out of qualifying 2 now. So yeah, this is all or nothing for it really, Sammy, because I don't think he's got enough time to get back in the pits. I know we will have a bit of a desync in the time, but yeah, this is the one lap that he's going to have to show us what he's got on those medium tyres, because I don't think he does have the time to come back in, put on those softs. So it's make or break time now for Sammy. If he wants to get into this Q3 session, he needs to put everything on the table now and yeah, show us what that Racing Point can do and what his driving ability is like. I know obviously he's a wheel user, so I think Monza's probably one of the better tracks for a wheel compared to a lot of others.
Yeah, just be able to keep it smoother through the tight corners.
Yeah, it's easier to find a flow, I think, apparently. I don't know, I've used one myself, but I think that's what Sammy was telling me the other
look
day.
pretty smooth through there, but is it quick?
Well, that's it really. I mean, it's a very difficult circuit when it comes to terms of braking, because it's so much more beneficial to be a slow in, fast out kind of technique around here. But yeah, Sammy's not validated this lap, so he's just come through the parabolic now, opened up the DRS, coming across the line, and he puts himself into P3. That's a really good time on the medium tyres, the quickest of the medium runners so far. So Sammy would think that he could be relatively comfortable, but it all depends on whether or not the others do come out on soft tyres. I think that's Jamie out on softs. I'm not sure if the telemetry's wrong, but he is saying he's on 4-lap old softs, but I'm presuming he probably is on fresh softs. Same with silent shiftings. Shiftings that come out on softs as well. So it'd be interesting to see these McLarens are relatively close on track, so are they going to give each other a slipstream? Could potentially see that, but haven't really seen a lot of teamwork going on so far. But ALR Vintage now is just across the line. He's going for again on the medium tyres. He doesn't improve his time, but he does have fuel on board. I think he does look like he's going for another lap. But it does look like these McLarens are close together, so I think they are going to try and give each other a slipstream. But yeah, Jamie being the car behind, he is going to obviously gain a lot of time down the straights, but he is going to really suffer.
Especially with that dirty air through
through the Lesmos and the Ascari chicane.
I wouldn't want to be behind a car that close.
No, well, I mean, he does have a bit of a gap, but he definitely will probably gain a little bit of time. I don't know whether that's just him trying to latch on to the back of his teammate. Yeah, so we're going to see silent shifting obviously is going to be one of the first ones to come across the line. He's just going through the curve, the Grande now. Turn 1 is really, really crucial because it sets you up nicely down this straight and you carry through the speed. And this chicane here is actually really difficult. It looks like a simple corner, but the curbs are really horrible because they're so easy to bounce across them. Exactly like that. Dips 2 wheels into the gravel there on the left-hand side, coming through the Lesmos now. You want to get nice and tight on the inside. He's getting really wayward on the rear end then. Again, hugging that inside line, getting the clip of the apex there, getting the power down, opening up that DRS as Reflection has retired. He's pretty comfortable with his time, but now he's coming down the back straight underneath the bridge, coming up to the Ascari chicane. It's about braking late, but not braking too late, not taking too much curve and going off track. Yeah, you don't want to clip that curve there too much on the left-hand side, don't want to go out too far wide and invalidate your lap. But yeah, it's just one more braking zone now into the Parabolica for silent shifting. It's make or break here for now for him because there's other drivers out behind him that could go quicker than him. So he needs to set this lap now and hopefully get into that Q3 session. But he's going to come across the line in any second now, open up the DRS. He goes fastest now, and his teammate Jamie behind him, he looks like he is slowing down, but I don't know if he's going to try and go for another lap potentially. Or
I don't know if we've got a time glitch again.
Yeah, I think he might be safe, so I don't think he needs to go for a lap, but he is going to go for it anyway. But yeah, silent shifting P1 on those soft tyres, about 2.5 temps quicker than Marvsky. So Marvsky's obviously safe through this session. Sammy on those medium tyres in P5 now, sorry, as RD Wee has gone quickest. That's more like it for RD Wee. He's done a 1:14.4.
He's been hiding this pace from us all season.
Maybe he's just been saving it for one of his favourite tracks. So yeah, Jamie on a lap now. Is that an AlphaTauri, sorry, coming through the last corner? Yeah, so
Shadows doesn't seem to be
Shadows could be alright on the cusp, but Lewis Williams is a tenth and a bit down on his time through the first sector, but he does have 2 more sectors to try and gain. Well, he only needs about 2-3 temps to go ahead of Shadows.
Oh, has he gone a bit wide there?
Well, he's still a tenth and a half down, but the second sector time split is just about to come up, so we'll see how he's doing along this lap. He's clawed back a bit of time, but he's pretty much level, and he's invalidated his lap. So yeah, that's
Shadows is safe.
That's it for qualifying 2. So Lewis Williams is unfortunately out, Vintage out as well, and we didn't even see any times from Leclerc and Kamara Razor. That's 2 big names there, not making it through to qualifying 3. But RD Wee, I think, being the big shocker in that session there in P1. I mean, I've raced with RDW a few times before, and I know he took a bit of a break from the game, but he's really showing us what he's made of, and I think he's back into the groove of it now, taking that Red Bull up into that P1 position. So yeah, Sammy being one of the 3 runners to make it through on the medium, so Sammy obviously clearly has some pace in that car, if he's only half a second off RDW on the medium tyres, and the same with Dylan as well. So I think it could be a bit of the usual suspects qualifying wise. So crew theory is going to be a really interesting session, I think. We're going to be seeing quite a few drivers, maybe really close to each other, you think?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because obviously RDW obviously hasn't shown us any pace in qualifying because he hasn't qualified yet. So yeah, it's brilliant to see that. I did an obviously 8th. He's going to be wanting to, I think, go a bit faster in the race, but not necessarily coming from experience. But qualifying doesn't necessarily mean anything, especially around Monza, because you would expect at least one safety car that can change the race completely. But yeah, so we see RDW fastest, the 1:19.4. That's actually good pace. Only just beating Silent Shifting though. Followed by obviously Silent Shifting, Marsky, Reflection, Sammy, Jamie, Roscoe, Idle and Theo and Shadows. So yeah, it's unfortunate we're not going to see Lewis Williams, ALR Vintage, and then the 2 that's crashed out is Leclerc and Kamara Racer, who should be fighting for the top of this standings at the minute, which yeah, this is unfortunate to see, but they'll be able to start on fresh tyres, fresh mediums I presume, maybe come back at the end of the race on fresh softs, so it'll be interesting to see different strategies.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could be beneficial starting on the softs if you want to cut through traffic, because obviously the nature of the circuit is obviously more straight line speed,
and you want to stay in that train, which they'll definitely have both.
Well,
of
you
the
don't
pace
necessarily
to
want to stay in it. You want to try and get through it and try and break out and set your own pace.
Yeah, so they could like lose a lot of time in that train. So like you say, maybe taking the softer tyre and getting through it as fast as they can.
Well, the perfect example I've seen of that was Milan in gold a few weeks back in Spa.
Yeah.
And he obviously he had a qualifying ban and he was back of the grid. I don't think he did it intentionally, but he made it work surprisingly, because the advantage of having those soft tyres at the start compared to the other medium runners is you obviously can get past them quicker, but then you can also, when you do pit, you don't come out in any dirty air. You come out just setting your lap times and setting your own pace, which obviously you undercut the other drivers by a fair few laps. Yeah, you will suffer at the end of the race, but you're going to get yourself out of that dirty air and out of that DRS train of other drivers, and obviously that is going to slow down other drivers as well because they won't have the DRS on you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the people outside the top 10 do. Very funny.
Yeah, because obviously you'd expect safety cars around here. We've seen that in obviously both races so far this week.
We didn't see any safety cars on Sunday.
Was there none in gold?
We had virtual safety cars,
okay.
but yeah, there wasn't any actual safety cars.
Because you know, from looking at tyre performance like strategy, you could say that starting on the hards and then ending on the softs, but like for me, that the mediums can like easily get towards the
the mediums can easily do about 20 laps.
So I don't necessarily think it's worth the hards. Plus, you want as much grip as you can through that middle sector, and on the hards, I just think it's that extra sliver of less grip that you have that can make you spin or it'll ruin your race. So I don't necessarily think it's worth starting on the hards, or even just going into them in the race. I think even if you do get wing damage lap 1, I don't think it's worth it. I think just stick on the opposite tyre and...
Yeah, it depends on what tyre you are on. Obviously, if you're on those mediums already and you do get damage, I don't think you're beneficial going for the softs, just because they won't make it to the end, but the hards could easily make it to the end from that point. Because it's just the nature of a one-stop race, you are then obviously want to try and minimise the amount of pit stops unless there is a safety car. So, yeah, it's a tough one, but yeah, you do really want to avoid those hard tyres. Definitely, but yeah, moving on to qualifying for now because that's where we are. Dylan's going to be the first. He hasn't really got the best braking line and through the first chicane, so yeah, it could be just a bit of a bank lap on his first run, but yeah, it's not going to be the best of starts for Dylan on this lap. Sammy is right behind him, so Sammy's definitely going to get somewhat of a slipstream on this lap on Dylan, so yeah, he's going to suffer through this part of the track.
Oh, he just lost the back end there.
Yeah, he did have a bit of a slapper there on the back end of that Williams car, so maybe not running as high as wings as he might want to, but he maybe setting up the car for the race. He's coming through the Lesmos now, going quite wide, but not that too wide. Sammy was also had a bit of a slapper on the end of the rear of the car there as well. But yeah, Dylan, obviously, he's been one of the quicker guys in this league so far, and obviously second in the championship. Level on the championship. with points-wise, but second in the standings because Reflection did have those points first. So yeah, Dylan's going to want to qualify as high as he possibly can round here, and put some pressure on his rivals and start to gain a bit of a lead in the championship now. But yeah, he's coming across the line now in his first run in his Q3 session. He's going to put himself obviously on pole position, provisional 1:19.2. That's really solid time there from Dylan. So I'm going to presume that Sammy must have invalidated that lap because he hasn't set a time yet. But Shadders goes to P2 on a 1:28 tenths behind.
He might be using old softs, that's what I would presume.
Yeah, he could be potentially. But Jamie Wright is just coming across the line. He does a 1:21.3. So don't think Jamie's going to be too happy with that time either. So it's quite a few drivers struggling. But Roscoe's going to come across the line now and just start his lap.
There's a yellow flag. Is that just a Red Bull?
I think that's just Shadders just being slowly. Yeah, he's just getting out of the way of some of the drivers, I think.
Yellow flag, I think it's someone else. Oh, I think it's them cutting the
first corner.
Yeah, the first corner, I think.
Yeah, so Marvski, obviously being my fellow Renault driver, I'm trying not to be too favourite.
Had a really good race last week.
Yeah, getting back on the podium where he probably should have been. I think he finished in P3 last week out. Yeah, he did. But he's going to come across the line now, and he does a 1:19.6, which puts him P2, about 4 tenths behind Dylan.
That's a good time, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a really good time from Marvski. This is getting back to where he should be now. So yeah, putting that Renault in a really good position as he's also choosing to cut the first chicane. Not wanting to do that first corner, I don't blame him, it's not really in that nice of a corner. But Sammy is invalidated again, so Sammy's probably not going to have enough fuel to go again, surely, is he? No, he is. Oh no, he's boxing, so Sammy's going to put on another fresh set of tyres, I presume. And I'm guessing that's Dylan behind him there, he's also boxing, yeah. So is that Jamie also on an in-lap as well? I think
it'd be interesting to see what Reflection will do, as he is the closest to Dylan in the championship. So, he's on an outlap at the minute, but yeah, I think it's going to be interesting for those top two battle. Who else we've got? Like obviously Roscoe's up there. Be interesting to see what he can do. Not too far behind points wise in the championship as well. Well, both Ferraris aren't with because obviously they're very good as a team. But I think Reflection's just going to start his lap here. It's a tough braking zone down into turn 1.
Yeah, you definitely really want to brake earlier into this corner, and you can clip and ride the curb of the first part of the, yeah, exactly like Reflection's done there. Same with the second curb as well.
The exit you have to get just right.
Yeah, because
get as much grip as you can.
If you don't get the power down as soon as you possibly can, you just suffer all the way down because you're not carrying that speed. You want to take as much speed as you can through that first chicane down into this chicane here, through the curve, the Grande that is, into this chicane. And yeah, those bumps are so horrible. You've got to get your suspension just right to be able to ride those curves and carry the speed. And then into the Lesmos, it's quite bumpy through here as well. And yeah, you want to have the front end nice and grippy and sticky and pointy. So
it's looking like quite a clean lap, but
yeah, usually as Top Gear used to always say, a slow clean lap usually does come quite quick. So I think yeah, obviously it's going to be his first run. He did maybe go a little bit too deep into that corner, maybe suffered a bit of speed. Ooh. Now through the Ascari chicane. He's going to come into the Parabolica any second now, and he's going to want to get into the 19s, well, the low 19s.
19.3.
I'm going to say 19.4 myself because I think he did mess up with that Ascari chicane a little bit. But yeah, he's coming through the last corner now, open up the DRS. He's going to put himself in P3 on a 19.9, so I think he's definitely got some time on the board there, being definitely 6 seconds behind.
I wonder if he, out of turn 1, might not have got the power down as much.
I think it was more through Ascari. He didn't seem to get the braking right. I think he did outbrake himself slightly, as RDW is taking those curbs quite nicely. As he just got on the grass, though, that's going to cost him now through the curve for Grande and yeah, into the second chicane, sorry. So yeah, RDW's been a really quite surprising this qualifying session so far, because we haven't really seen him
in qualifying all the race so far.
Yeah, so he's kind of just
very
retired.
Unfortunate and not wanting to qualify, but yeah, it's brilliant to see him up there again. Obviously this lap,
he's
lost it there.
Yeah, you did it. The rear end went on him.
This lap looks like a bit of yeah, a throwaway one, really. I think.
Well, he might not have the tyres, because he has chosen obviously to go out with about 5 minutes to go. So he might be only going for the one run.
I think we might see him come in now.
He does seem to look like he is still pushing a little bit, but
it's not a fast time though, surely. So
No, but I think you don't really want to leave it to that one last run, because if you don't set a lap time then you are going to be down at the bottom end of the grid. So I think he's going to I think he will complete this lap.
I think he'll box.
No, yeah, he's going to complete this lap. So let's see where RDW can put that Red Bull car. He only puts himself in P6, and I think he definitely did do a quicker lap time in Q2. So yeah, he might have enough time if he does cut this first chicane. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. Good man. Yeah, so hopefully we can see RDW take the car. It is luckily quite a short track, so I think he might just have enough time.
I think obviously back. We might have a time glitch that we saw in Q2.
Yeah,
well,
I think usually every week is about 50-40 seconds.
Yeah, so we're looking about more 4 minutes around that. So I still don't think that's enough time to come into the pits, change tyre, and come out.
Well, he needs to get as long as he's getting out on the track. As Sammy's just gone fastest. Ooh. Sammy is in provisional pole position on a 19.2, half a tenth quicker than Dylan. So Sammy is loving Monza right now, and maybe he's had pizza for dinner or pasta. I'm not quite sure, but he's definitely running on.
I ate a lot of fruit yesterday, and I got a win. So
maybe fruit's the answer.
Fruit is the answer. Eat healthy.
Get your 5 a day. So yeah, Silent Shifting still hasn't set a time, as well as Roscoe. So Roscoe, well, it's going to come down to this final run for Roscoe, so it's make or break for Roscoe now. But yeah, Sammy, wow, that's an incredible lap there from Sammy to put that racing point in P1. He has been quite unlucky, I think, so far this season, because was Hungary again. We obviously had a glitch lobby, and he did forget to
choose his setup.
Yeah, he forgot, so he was running the default set, but he still put up a hell of a fight,
and he got ridiculous amount of penalties and still managed to get a point.
Yeah, so I don't think Sammy's
he's got a lot of fight.
Yeah, that is definitely true. So
I think he was very unlucky. Silverstone as well, the first bronze Grand Prix of the season. Him and Ginger Rage had a brilliant battle for what I call driver of the day, because whoever would have finished above would have got it. So unfortunately, he lost out to Ginger Rage there. But I think Sammy, if he finds his consistency in his pace, and especially in the race, he's definitely should be up there towards like the top of the points. He's definitely shown when he's reserved in higher tiers of ALR, he's definitely got the pace in qualifying like he's showing right now. Just in the race where he falls short, maybe. But that comes with experience. But he has been around a long time.
Well, he's the most. Well, yeah, I think he was saying in the chat the other night that he. Him
and Gunnar have been around
since season 2. They've been about for over 2 years now. So he looks like he's going for another run. So he might have overfueled his car to do 2 laps. So Sammy might still have a bit of time left on this lap. So can Sammy even go even quicker? I mean, the tyres don't really lose a lot of time doing 2 laps. So. Yeah.
I would be impressed if anyone can beat that time and even get into the 18s, because I think only a couple people in silver got into the 18s.
It does look like he has backed out of it, sorry. So
even for the 18s, not many people got in gold in the 18s, I don't think.
So. Yeah, I think...
top 5, maybe?
I think my pole time was an 18.2. So there was quite a few of us that were in the 18s. But yeah, the 18s is a really, really good place to be time-wise. So I think you might see the likes of Roscoe, maybe Dylan, break into the low 18s, you'd think, because track evolution is quite big around here. But Dylan's got a lot better exit now through the first chicane. But Marvsky's right on the back of him, so Marvsky's going to get a nice slipstream on the whole of this lap. As was that a yellow flag?
Yeah, there's someone just going through turn 1.
Was that for a reflection of RDW? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so Marvsky is right on the rear end of that Williams car.
He's definitely close enough to get some slipstream.
But he is going to suffer, through these Lesmo corners.
Oh,
Dylan's, oh no!
He's held it.
Does he have enough fuel? Does he have enough fuel and time to be able to get another lap? I mean, that would be perfect for Marvsky, because he's had that slipstream down the main straight and through the Curve de Grande. So yeah, now he's just got through the crucial part of the track is Ascari. He's 4 attempts up his Marvsky, so that's going to put him right on the cusp now for pole position with still 1 second to go on his lap. So Marvsky is he's right on the he's going to be right up there, I think.
That was clean through Ascari as well.
He had a really good exit. So can we see a Renault on pole position?
Oh, he could have been tighter through that corner.
Yeah,
I think,
he didn't quite get the nose tucked in, but he's gone quite wide there. But he didn't have improve on this lap time, I think. Where is he going to put that car? He's only done a 1:19.3, puts himself in P3. He didn't have the best final sector, and Dylan doesn't have time to go and do another lap. So that's Dylan out of... Well, we qualified P3, but Theo is 4 attempts up as well. So Theo could be on pole position. We saw him out last week in her Spa, have an amazing race. Can he put that Mercedes on pole position in Monza? No.
Oh, he doesn't seem to improve.
He did improve in time, but he doesn't gain any position.
Shadows is still out.
Shadows and Roscoe is the only ones now that can set a lap time, as well as Sammy, I think, actually. So let's jump on back and forth with Sammy. Sammy's 3 temps down his time, so I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. But can Shadows? Shadows 3 temps up on his time, so he needs to... That might push him up to about P5 if he can... Sorry, Sammy's just gone even quicker. The telemetry results... Sammy's going to be on pole position, I think, unless Roscoe can do anything here. Where can Roscoe put that Ferrari? Tifosi then would go mad if he could put that Ferrari on pole. I'm not sure what happened there.
I think it was 19.5.
I think Roscoe might have done it. No, he didn't. Sammy is on pole position.
Well done, Sammy.
That's an awesome result there from Sammy. Wow.
That's a brilliant qualifying time.
From just under a tenth of a second to Dylan. That's really, really amazing. Sammy's going to get his pole position in bronze. That's amazing. And Dylan puts that Williams in P2, which is a really solid job for a title contender. And Marvsky and the Renault in P3 there. Roscoe only put that Ferrari in P4, which he hasn't been the best qualifier so far, but he's done a pretty decent job today at putting that Ferrari in P4. It's a tight run down to turn 1, and Theo puts his...
I think he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, only 2 tenths of a second between the top 5. Shadows there in P6, Reflection in P7, Jamie in P8, RDW in P9, and Silent Shifting unable to set a lap time in P10.
I think Reflection might be a bit annoyed with that lap time because I think he wants to be as close to he can and Dylan. But Monza can be a easy and hard overtaking at the same time, depending on who you're against. But I think it might be interesting to see now. Definitely, who's going to be going for the slippier setups, because that can make the race. If they can handle it through the corners, then it is looking a bit cloudy, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. I know they did say there was a bit of clouds.
Yeah, we're not predicting rain, but not that the temperature would affect the tyres that much.
Well, it will be really hard if the track temperatures are obviously a lot lower. It definitely does affect the start of the race. Yeah, well, not just harder to warm up your tyres, but less grippy off the start. So the start could be really crucial. It is a relatively long run down into turn 1, and obviously turn 1 is really tight. You can only really get about 2 cars wide, but it narrows really suddenly. So I think it's going to be quite difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some cars maybe cutting the first chicane and going over the curbs and maybe a bit of wing damage. Hopefully not, but turn 1's really difficult, guys. So definitely want to be cautious in going into it because it's a long old race. Well, actually, it's one of the shortest races, but so let's have a look at what tyres everyone has chosen. So we've got Sammy taking pole position. He's on the medium tyres. Him and Dylan. They're going to be a little bit of a brick wall for Marvsky, so Marvsky's going to want to get past them because both of those two are on the medium compound tyres, as Marvsky's on the softs. Then Roscoe in P4 on the mediums, as well as Theo in P5 and Shadows in P6. Reflection in P7 on the softs, as well as Jamie in P8, RDW in P9, and Silent Shifting in P10. Lewis Williams there in P11 on the mediums, as well as Vintage P12. Leclerc all the way down to P13. Obviously did have a bit of an unfortunate qualifying too. Obviously did crash that Racing Point. And same with Kamara Racing. Kamara Racing is selecting the soft tyres in P14, so he's going to want to cut through that traffic relatively quickly. Crystal Maze opting for the medium tyres in P15, so that Ferrari's then obviously want to cut through the traffic as well. And maybe bide his time a little bit with the strategy and attack at the end. Booty Delight in P16 ahead of his mate Ginger Rage on the softs in P17, and Spiffy Almighty and Sir Dave both on the softs down there near the back of the grid, and Cryptic Alibi at the very back of the grid rounding us up on the medium tyres. So all ready for Monza now. We're all ready for the Grand Prix. So Sammy's going to have those medium tyres nice and warmed up. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be sitting there quite nervous in that Racing Point car because there's a long old race ahead of him, and hopefully he doesn't put that Racing Point in the wall like we saw. Was it Lance Stroll and Vettel a few seasons back where Vettel had that spin in the Ascari chicane? I think it was Stroll that he caught up with him,
Vettel sort of seemed to do donuts.
Well, he'd rejoin the track quite dangerously, didn't he?
And then Stroll did the exact same thing just seconds after.
Yeah. Bit of a... Well, we're going to have a quite exciting race, I think. If anything, if the last 3 races have
I think what's going to be interesting is seeing Reflection off the start on those soft tyres. He's going to want to get through those as soon as he can. But so we see Sir Dave and Leclerc are disqualified
from the formation lap.
Yeah, from the formation lap.
Hopefully that won't mean their tyres will be too cold, because usually, if you've got cold tyres at the start,
we can actually quickly talk about people. Obviously, we didn't see Q3. So obviously, Cryptic Alibi must have had a really bad session. along with Sir Dave. Ginger Rage obviously not doing well. But here we go, getting ready for the start of the race. Yeah, so here we go.
Not just yet. I think we're just going to see the revs building up now. Any second. The lights have obviously gone out for everyone else, but not quite us. So yeah, we're seeing the revs build now, and we are away we go now. And Dylan looks like he's got the better start of the two on the front row. But yeah, it's a long old way down to turn one. So Sammy's, Dylan, sorry, is right alongside Sam. He's got a nose ahead.
We see a bit of wings going flying there.
Yeah, did see a bit of damage on the back, but yeah, Dylan's right on the edge of Dylan now. Dylan. Well, they're keeping. Roscoe's up to P3 now. Marsky's dropped back a position.
It's in Ginger Rage dropping back towards the back. What's happened there?
I'm not quite sure. So
he's gone back to the back. He's got wing damage.
Yeah, he's got left end plate damage there. But Sammy has retained the lead on this lap one of Monza. Dylan's kept second. Roscoe's moved up to P3. Marsky's moved down to P4. Shadow's kept P5. Theo, I think, might have dropped position as a silent shift is looking around the outside of Theo there. Didn't quite get the move done, but he was definitely having a look. Sorry, I'm just going to sort out the...
Don't want to jinx it, but a brilliant start so far. No safety car or yellow flag. See, Cryptic Alibi is making his way through the grid nicely.
The gap to the... I'm going to have that onto the interval. So, yeah. So, yeah, Ginger Rage, obviously, he didn't have the box with that damage he's never got, unfortunately. So he's going to probably want to put on the medium tyres and go, maybe even the hards, and just go long and hope for a safety car. That's what he's got to hope for. So that's the second week in a row that Ginger Rage unfortunately hasn't had the best of starts. But Sammy's having an amazing drive so far, obviously getting pole position and still leading this race. But Dylan looks like he's coming a bit of pressure from Roscoe. So maybe Roscoe's running a few lower wings.
Just got RDW. RDW's got a good battle here.
So yeah, RDW's just overtaking Reflection now for P8.
Silent Shifting's on a look on Theo as well.
Yeah, he can't get the move done though, but Silent Shifting's going for the switchback now.
He's making his way through this pack.
Sorry, Roscoe's right on the back end of Dylan. I've got to move back to this because it's a really good place to make a move if he can get it done. He decides better of it, so I'm going to jump back now to Silent Shifting and Theo. Will Silent Shifting, yeah, no, he's quite smart there to try and not make a move through here. Just going to bide his time, maybe wait for the DRS in the next lap. As RDW...
Oh, we just seen a car go! RDW spun off.
As he got damage, I think he might have went into the wall there.
He hasn't got damage.
He hasn't, so I think he might have just lost the back end of the car, unfortunately.
14th still a good position to get some points.
Yeah, well, the pack's still nice and tight, so it's definitely not over yet for RDW, so I think he can crawl that Red Bull back inside to the points, I'd say. As Roscoe is still right on the back of Dylan there. As Sammy's got a penalty, unfortunately, but Crystal Maze has moved past Booty Delight. He's slowly making him... I think he might have dropped a few positions off the start, so maybe Crystal Maze might have been involved.
Seen Ginger Rage go onto the medium tyre, not the hard, so yeah, he wants as much pace as he can get.
I think you can get about 20 laps, maybe even, potentially even get him to the end from here. So
Dave's just got Smithy Almighty. Go on, Dave.
I think... Oh yeah, he did. Wow, must have been an awesome move. But yeah, Sammy having that 3-second penalty already isn't great.
Sammy's got some pace around here though, keep on improving his time.
Well, the DRS now has been enabled on this lap though, and it's going to be really difficult, I think, for Sammy to now break away because he doesn't look like he has. That rear end doesn't look like it's too planted.
Yeah.
So I think he must be running a slipperier setup.
Another one of Sammy's issues is he does pick up a lot of penalties.
Well,
Might be quick, but if you're losing 3 seconds every lap from penalties, then it adds up.
As
Cryptic Alibi, like I keep on saying, on Kamara Racer on Jamie.
Yeah, he must have just got a really good exit there out of turn 1 and he's made that move stick before.
Oh, Marsky's just getting Roscoe.
Oh, he must have got the position back. Yeah, Marsky on those soft compound tyres, he's got more grip than Roscoe at the minute.
Yeah, he's making those moves done finally.
So, Sammy, yeah, he doesn't look really comfortable in that
Booty
car.
Delight's just got a 3-second time penalty.
Sorry, Sammy does look like he is gaining through the Lesmo, so maybe Sammy isn't running a quicker car down the straights. He's maybe chose a more comfortable set because he did gain about 3 tenths, I think it was, on Dylan through that through the Lesmos, the middle part of the track.
Crystal Maze just got RDW.
Yeah, Crystal Maze is starting to slowly make his way through the pack.
Dropping down. Booty Delight another 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I think he's got a 5-second and a 3-second now. At least Ginger Rage there's got some company with him at the back. I know that's his mate. Is his cousin or is that just his
Booty is his nephew.
His nephew, yeah, that's the one. So yeah, hopefully we'll see them on track. Marvsky's now just gone to set the fastest lap time, so he's starting to push now.
Reflection as well, look behind.
Yeah, these soft compound tyres obviously are definitely quicker than these mediums at the minute, but obviously they don't last us too long, so they want to do about at least 11 laps on those soft tyres and probably want to go about 14-15 on the mediums.
I think Leclerc's having a pretty difficult race. He's got Cryptic Alibi gaining on him.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's got the pace like he did last week out.
Yeah, he just doesn't look very comfortable.
He hasn't made it. His Kamara Racer now is up to P9. He's already made a move past Jamie.
Yeah, I'm expecting the reflection of Kamara Racer right here. They need to get through this pack because they could be fighting for the win if they based on pace, at least. But
yeah, but like in real life Formula 1, you need to probably be about a second or half a second quicker than the car ahead of you to make a move on them.
Yeah.
Unless obviously you've got the ALR advantage, or
and I think you need to be even quicker than that to then bridge the gap and gain on them, so then they can't overtake you back.
Yeah, so Sammy, obviously being out in front, he does only have about 20% of his battery there, and Dylan is having to use a lot of it now to defend from Marski. Wow, he's right putting the pressure on him now. So Marski's got a hell of a lot more battery as well, so Marski's going to probably want to dump a load of that, try and get past him now, and I think
DRS, he's surely got him.
Slipstream right on the rear end. Obviously Dylan will have the DRS as well, but now it's going to be a late braking as Booty Delight is retired. Booty Delight has crashed out the Lesbos, but I'm going to have to cut back to the front runners. Oh, we've got a safety car. So, was Marski ahead of Dylan there? I don't think he was. I don't think there was any penalties there for any collisions or anything, but I think Dylan was ahead, so he will keep that position. And I think, is that Leclerc coming into the pits, or...
He's lost a position there.
Yeah, he's just lost a position. He's got damage as Leclerc. Leclerc has damage.
I think Ginger Age will be thanking his nephew for that, because he'll be making it back.
Yeah, but he's still down in P19, so he's going to have a lot of work to make up. But yeah, like you said, he is definitely going to be back in this race. He's going to probably
Ginger
box
Age
again.
Is pitting for hards, I presume?
Well,
no, to the end of the race
he might
now.
be putting on the softs, I think.
I don't know why he would just... Sure you would have stayed out if he was putting...
Well, I suppose what he's thinking, he might... I know he's only been on it
to the end, so...
Well... we'll see what he's putting on the softs, so he's just going to stick to his original strategy from now, you probably think. Probably do about 11 or so laps, well, maybe 10 laps on these tyres, 8 laps maybe, and probably just...
Depends if they're already used, but I'm pretty sure that...
No, they're fresh 0 laps, yeah. So, Sammy's still out in the lead at the minute, with the safety car kind of nullifying everything. He has got a 3-second penalty though, and he hasn't been able to break away from Dylan. Dylan's capped P2. Marski did drop back, but he has made himself make his way back up the order now into P3.
Do you want to get up how many positions they've made? We
Yeah,
can have a look at that. But yeah, so it's a bit of an awkward time to have a safety car, because it's sort of like the softs aren't ready for pits yet. Mediums, you may as well just stay out, I think. So
as we are seeing a few cars
coming in to see what they go. Maybe some people will risk it and not pit stop for the rest of the race, going on the hard.
I think you could be... Well, I think if you put on the medium tyres, you probably could go to the end here, especially if you... Oh, well, some people's hard tyres they're going
Yeah,
for.
I think some people...
Hard tyres definitely probably the more comfortable tyre, but...
Oh, we see the double stack of McLaren here.
Oh, no, Jamie's going to really lose a lot of time, but obviously because of the safety car, he won't lose too much, because they will bunch up. So Jamie's selecting the mediums. I think he's probably bang on with that, because the safety car will probably be out for another lap or two.
I think you might be able to nurse these tyres to the end.
I think they'll easily get to the end, but you'll be able to push on those hard tyres like silent shift and decided.
Yeah. And then who knows, a safety car later could completely change all this.
Yeah, exactly. So there's quite a few drivers. So silent shift and Kamara Racer, RD Wee and Leclerc all opted for the hards, and Jamie's opted for the mediums. Well, I think personally probably would be the for gaining track position. I think they're probably the better tyre to be on in the short term. Maybe towards the end he might suffer a bit, but yeah, Ginger Age
going to have to get past these hards fast.
Well, he definitely will have the tyre advantage, as Leclerc saying Cryptic Alibi overtook him under the safety car.
Okay.
I don't think the game gave him a game penalty for that, so maybe he didn't get it as the safety car
maybe
came
it's just
out.
a glitch. I think I've seen it before, but
potentially,
who knows.
But yeah, I think the safety car will probably up for one more lap, just because we're waiting for Ginger Age to catch up with the rest of the grid. So hurry up, Ginger Age, we're all waiting on you. We want to get back racing. We don't really want to see what happened with Silver last night, and I think it was 4 safety cars. I think it was.
I think. So,
I know you were quite happy with it, because
obviously
what happened towards the end, and obviously you did win.
It wasn't a bad race, was it?
No, I suppose it wasn't too bad. I knew you were probably wanting to bring that up at some point.
No.
As Troy. Yeah, Troy, is that Troy A from? I'm guessing it probably is.
Yeah.
I would box for mediums if I started on the softs. Yeah, 100%. Because I think you're close enough to make the tyres work. Especially those mediums. I think they could easily get to the end from here, but I don't think we'll see anyone else try and box now, because you're just going to fall right to the back of the grid. So we're just going to see all of the
But what is the saying? Safety car.
breed safety cars. Yeah, that is true.
So if the soft runners maybe are hoping that in a few more laps, just get those little bit extra out of those softs, then have another safety car where they can have even fresher mediums than some other people out there. So maybe they'll be hoping for that.
Well, it's coming towards the end of the soft tyre kind of stint. So, yeah, I think I'm with there on Troy, that I probably would have boxed as well if I was on the softs, because you can make it to the end, and then the people on the mediums, yeah, they will be quick towards the end, but they'll have to make up a whole pit stop. I know you will have, obviously, a lot of traffic, but yeah, I think obviously being on the mediums probably is the safer option at the minute, because like we just said, the safety cars do breed safety cars. Especially being the tight circuit that it is around here. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what does happen after the safety car does decide to come in, because I think it probably will on this lap, because the pack is nice and bunched up now. So yeah, let's hope Sammy can get a really nice run out of Parabolica. Maybe he's going to do an interesting safety car restart like we saw, well, not safety car restart we didn't see, but in qualifying, was it in 2019 where we had all of those cars try and get a slipstream off each other. Yeah, safety cars in this lap, so safety car Sammy now becomes the effective safety car, and he can dictate the pace of the rest of this pack, slow everyone up a bit, bunch everyone up, warm up his tyres and his brakes, because those brakes are going to be quite cold going into that turn 1, because it's such a long run from Parabolica all the way down to the first corner. So Sammy needs to wait for that safety car to jump back into the pit lane before we can jump the gun and get everyone going again. So yeah, he's warming up those medium tyres nicely now. Hopefully they're all up to temperature now. Wow, look at those 19 cars there, all really, really nice and bunched up. So we're going to get going underway any second now, I think. Let's see when Sammy puts the pedal to the metal. Sorry.
He's bunching them up here, I think.
Yeah, and I think he's gone. He caught him off guard, I think, a little bit there. Sammy's. We've seen a 5-second penalty with Lewis Williams and Vintage, which hopefully they can get removed, because I think that might be more of an in-game thing. But yeah, Sammy's had a really nice safety car restart and kept P1. Dylan there in P2, and
Ginger Ray's already using those soft tyres.
Yeah, he's already passed Leclerc, so that's a really good move there. So we've seen Cryptic Gallopy pass Lewis Williams now. A little bit of argy-bargy going on there, and Reflection getting past Silent Shifting as well.
Don't think we saw that much carbon flying, so pretty safe through there.
Yeah, I think Sammy did a really good job of doing that safety car restart, and Ginger Rage has already passed RDW as well, so the soft compound tyres are really working for Ginger Rage now, as he's just getting through this field like hot life through butter. As we do have Smithy Almighty facing the wrong way, and he does have damage, unfortunately. He's put that Renault into the wall.
Or just spun.
I think there might have been some contact, but Ginger Rage now is, wow, he's really fighting through the field. He's already on the back of Camaro Racer.
Oh, he's gone a bit wide there though.
Yeah, he has a little bit, and probably got a warning for that.
Roscoe's just overtaken Marvsky.
Sorry, yeah, he has. So those soft compound. He's going to try and get the position back now. Yeah, Marvsky's it's going to be interesting. If I was Marvsky, I would have probably maybe let Roscoe have that position, because you will get the DRS now. So Roscoe's going to be right on the back end of Marvsky.
Two McLarens are battling as well.
Yeah, I'm going to stick on this, because I think Roscoe is going to be. Oh no, Moscow must have had a really bad exit, because Shadders now is going to make the move on Roscoe. So Roscoe didn't even get the DRS won't be enabled on this lap yet because of the safety car, will it? My apologies. Roscoe has kept the position on Shadders there.
What's happened to these two McLarens? They're battling. Is that a bit of damage I saw? I'm not sure from the McLarens or car in front.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, they're both on different strategies at the minute, because they're on both two tyre compounds. So Silent Shifting probably doesn't want to hold up Jamie too much, because he will be a quick car at the minute. But Ginger Rage is proper coming for him now, because he's on those softs.
He just needs to be patient though and not.
Silent Shifting, gets a 3-second penalty. Talking of the devil.
Ginger Rage needs to just be patient here, I think.
As Camaro Racers just dropped back behind Leclerc now. As Sammy's still looking quite comfortable up there. He's got a 9%.
He's almost a second ahead.
Yeah, he needs to get out of that DRS, which he's looking quite close to now. So if he can get a good run out of Ascari before the end of the Parabolica, he's outside of the second gap now. So can Sammy now start to bridge a gap on Dylan? That would be amazing if we can see Sammy get a win here in bronze. I'd love to talk to him in the commentary box. It's been a while since I've spoken to Sammy. I know he does seem to chat a lot in the general chat, but yeah, in person and in the party chats and everything. I don't really talk to him too much, so it'd be nice to hear from him. DRS has now been enabled, so
Lewis Williams just got Crystal Maze. Cryptic Alibi's losing positions.
I think Theo's come into the pit, so I think maybe did we see?
Cryptic Alibi
I think we might have seen
both of them.
Yeah, I think we might have seen a bit of an incident.
I think that's the wing damage I saw turn 1.
Potentially, yeah, because unlucky for Theo. Oh no, he had a really good race last time out in Belgium.
Is he just swapping hards for hards though?
Yeah, yeah, he is. He's just having to change that front wing.
Oh, he's got a penalty as well. Oh no, it was just a
no, I think it was a glitch, unfortunately. Yeah, and Theo's obviously so Cryptic Alibi, sorry, is having to do the same.
Well, so meanwhile, this is all Reflections. Just got Lewis Williams. Reflections making his way through the grid. Oh no,
Lewis Williams get the moves back.
Ooh.
I think they went side by side through there, but the camera angle wasn't really great. But this grid is really bunched up now.
Sir Dave's into 10!
Wow, that's an amazing rock.
Go on, Dave!
Still obviously does have to pit, and Ginger Rage is looking...
Oh, Dave's surrounded at the minute by McLarens.
It's like a swarm of sharks at the minute, is Sir Dave with these McLarens. And
Ginger Rage is going to be looking to pounce on
this. Wow, is that Leclerc? Wow, Leclerc's going to make a move. Wait, he didn't double it. He didn't go for a triple overtake.
No,
he makes the... Oh, wow. That
triple rainbow.
That would have been an epic move there. Still was to make a double overtake from Ginger Rage.
Ginger Rage got a good exit, but he's gone wide there.
He is on these soft tyres compared to the hard tyres of Leclerc. But I think Leclerc probably is the driver with more pace in a race situation, as Leclerc...
Ginger Rage just stick to the ass of Leclerc here.
Yeah, I think he will obviously have that DRS now. But yeah, Leclerc's gonna have the DRS on Sir Dave. As who's that? RDW. Is that? Sorry, the game is telling me someone.
Yeah, RDW's just got shifted.
Reflection is a 3-second penalty now, so that's gonna be really costly for him. But yeah, so Leclerc is right on the back still of Sir Dave. Sir Dave holding up quite nicely, but silent shifting now.
He's just let him.
Yeah, he's just got past RDW, but RDW's getting past back, as Leclerc now has got past Sir Dave, so Ginger Rage now is then they'll need to get past Sir Dave, because they are on the same tyres, but there's 5 lap difference between us, Ginger Rage there. He's in the gravel as Ginger Rage.
Oh no!
He's only dipped a couple wheels in, but RDW's back ahead of Ginger Rage.
Sorry, Ginger Rage needs to keep his cool here. I think he's going to lose it. He's not careful, he's just lost a lot of tyre temperature and grip through there. Oh, he's gone wide again.
Dylan now has a 3-second penalty, so Sam is now back in the contention to win this Grand Prix, but Marvsky obviously is right on the rear end of these two. He's within that 3 seconds, just about, of Dylan. But Sammy's just out, he's just edged out ahead of that DRS, but I'm not sure if he was in the detection zone. So will Dylan have the DRS on Sammy?
I don't think he will. I think he was out of it.
Yeah, he is. So Sammy now is without that DRS, but no, sorry, Dylan without that DRS, but
he's gaining.
He's in the slipstream, so I think he's got a quicker car. As Roscoe, sorry, is making a move on Marvsky now. So Marvsky.
Oh, what's up with Sir Dave?
Oh, sorry, Sir Dave.
Spun?
So he's in the pits. So he's at the end of his soft compound tyres. As silent shifting gets past Ginger Rage now, so Ginger Rage looks like he's suffering a bit and. He's not looking too quick on this.
Haven't lost pace already.
Well, he has had a couple laps under the safety car, so I'm not quite sure why. So maybe silent shifting's just got a really good run off the Ascari chicane. So yeah, Sir Dave's now boxing for the medium tyres, and he's going to go to the end of the Grand Prix, so he's got a lot of time to make up for.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen these medium runners come into the pits yet. So I think Reflection.
Ginger Rage. Oh, silent shifting. He's just lost 2 positions.
Yeah, I think silent shifting might have had a bit of a moment there. Yeah, he's got some dirt on his sides. I think he might have went into the gravel out of the chicane there. But yeah, Ginger Rage now up into P13.
He won't be able to get these softs to the end, so I think he must be praying for a safety car.
Well, with
Jamie's just getting Lewis Williams.
All of these medium runners, other than Reflection and Jamie, are all yet to pit. So everything's on the cards in a minute. Obviously, Ginger Rage will have to be boxed again, and he will be right on the edge of all these medium runners, but they will be on the soft tyres towards the end. But I think we might see Reflection being this far off the leaders. I think he's going to be laughing, because I think he probably can get these tyres to the end of the race.
Shadow's just got Marvsky. Marvsky's pitting.
Marvsky's in the pits, so Marvsky's going to put on these medium tyres now. He needs to go to the end, so he's going to try a bit of an undercut now on these medium runnings, and only by a few laps though. As who else is that in the pit?
Silent shifting.
Yeah, silent shifting is boxing from the hards. Silent shifting retired in the pit though.
He's just retired in the pits. That's interesting. Okay.
Oh, Cryptic Alibi spun.
Oh no.
Alvascari. So
on those fresh hards, I think they lost grip.
Yeah, so Sir Dave's now moved up to 17th position, and silent shifting's not too happy, and he has left the session. We do have a yellow flag, and I presume that's just for silent shifting's car. I think it is, yeah. So back out in front. Sammy now has a 1.6 second lead, so he's well out.
Just making his way through.
Yeah, he's got past Jamie right there.
On those hard tyres, that's impressive how much pace he's got on those.
Yeah, Sammy's now really starting to show his true colours, and he's almost got a 2-second lap on Dylan. Dylan's now starting to struggle as Roscoe's starting to close in on Dylan without those penalties. Roscoe is going to be right now. He's just out of that 3-second gap to Sammy. So Sammy's not going to be too long until Sammy does come into the pits. So maybe Roscoe might want to try a bit of an undercut on Sammy. Ginger Rage has now got a 3-second time penalty as Lewis Williams is coming into the pits, I think. Oh no, Lewis Williams has binned it. Well, he's gone into the wall out of the exit of the Ascari chicane. Yeah, he's definitely going to have damage on the front end of that car. Yeah, he's got rear left end plate damage there. And Marvsky obviously is going to be right on him now that he has boxed. So it's unfortunate for Lewis Williams there. But wow, look at Sammy's pace now.
Ginger Rage has lost the position. What's
yeah, to Kamara Racer, he's just got him down the straight, I think. But yeah, Sammy is now really starting to push, but Roscoe's right on the rear end of Dylan.
He's making positions up. I think Lewis Williams just gone to the pits, sorry.
Lewis Williams
just retired in the pits, I think, as well. Yeah. He's frustrated with his race.
But Dylan now is really starting to come under pressure from Roscoe now. And Dylan's going to not have the DRS or anything. And Roscoe's don't have that DRS now on Dylan. So he doesn't look close enough to make a move down this straight, but I think down the back straight, the main straight, I think he might be able to make a move into P2 on Dylan.
But yeah, so at the minute we're just seeing everyone sort of like level their playing field out. Jamie's catching Leclerc. I think that's the closest battle we've got right now. Roscoe's also catching Dylan to get in the top 3 battle.
It's going to be a really interesting kind of strategy race now because you've got the top 6 all yet to pit on the medium tyres, and then you've got the likes of Reflection and everyone down from it other than Ginger Rage, who probably won't have to stop again. So it's going to be a battle now of will these 7 medium... Sorry, as Roscoe is now taking P2 and he's got past Dylan into the first chicane. So now he is within 3 seconds just of Sammy. So Sammy needs now to put the power down. Ginger Rage gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not ideal there for Ginger Rage, as Crystal Maze now gets past Vintage as well down into the first chicane. But yeah, no, so Sammy now is outside of that 3-second gap. Sammy needs to now keep it cool, not get any more penalties. Cryptic Alibi gets a 3-second penalty there as well. But yeah, Sammy now he is in the net lead of the race with that penalty taken
Roscoe
into
getting
mind.
Dylan there. He's got no penalties at the minute, and obviously if he gets within that 3-second time penalty, Sammy's going to be sweating a bit, I think.
I think Sammy might probably come into the pits at the end of this lap, put on those soft tyres, and he's going to need to get past these runners that have pit already under that safety car. And he's showed us the pace so far, and he's now making it almost 4 seconds gap back to Roscoe. So
we're seeing a few mistakes now later on in the race. People getting a bit frustrated with the races. So if you maybe get that early pit stop, and then there's a safety car right after, that could seriously mess up someone's race. So I think, he's gone wide on there.
Yeah, he's pushing those tyres to the limit now. He's going to go for one more lap. Will we see Roscoe maybe try an undercut? No, Roscoe's staying out. Dylan's going to try the undercut. Shadows is going to stay out. I think that's quite a smart move there from Dylan because he's going to want to try and get track position back ahead of Roscoe, which I think he desperately can. Because I think Dylan's probably going to come out right behind the Renault of Marvsky, because Marvsky did pit from a few laps ago onto those medium tyres, and he's going to have a bit of an undercut. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Marvsky can get out ahead of Dylan, because I think this could be really crucial for Marvsky. Is going to be really close now to Dylan. Will he get him into turn one? He's got the overspeed on Dylan. Marvsky's got the undercut on him, but he is on 2-lap older mediums now, and Dylan's gonna have Dylan's on softs as well. So Dylan's he's already right on the back of him. He could even get the move done before the next corner. He's going through the Curve de Grande now. Yeah, he's already going around the outside. I don't think Marvsky's gonna fight it too hard, because Marvsky can play this quite clever, and he could just sit behind Dylan and catch the DRS and stay within his training. Dylan could probably just pull him along. So yeah, that's great for Dylan. He's going to get this undercut now, and I think Leclerc's now getting past Vintage. He's up into P6. So Leclerc and Reflection, I think, could be in the net lead of this race after these pit stops, because Sammy's probably going to box this lap. You would think, is he? Lap 16, yeah. Sammy's coming into pits. Don't get a 5-second here. Second penalty here, Sammy. Nice, get that pit limiter on. Let's see the Racing Point crew. They can get this the soft compound tyres on, and Sammy can start to cut through
Just in the
field.
top 3 now come into the pits as well.
Yep.
Crystal Maze. Oh no.
So Reflection will be leading the Grand Prix, but he's already on 10 lap old tyres. Can he get them another 10? It's going to be really touch and go. Crystal Maze, he's staying out for another lap as well. So Crystal Maze is going to try the overcut. Leclerc could be in a really good position now, because I think Crystal Maze and Reflection... Crystal Maze is definitely going to have to pick, but Reflection is going to start to struggle in these next few laps on those medium tyres, and he's going to have to eke them out, but Leclerc is going to be able to push no matter what on those hards to the end of the race, but they're not the fastest tyres, so it's going to be really interesting. Sammy's only down in P7, and he's only, 6 seconds off RDW, so Sammy can now push in these quali laps after quali laps, 10 laps to go in this race, and he can really start to cut the gap down. And Dylan is 2.8 seconds behind Sammy, so he's closing a little bit as Dylan. So that undercut did work a little bit, and he is within the 3 seconds of Sammy. And Marvsky's...
Oh, Leclerc's got another 3-second time penalty, I think.
That's not ideal there for Leclerc. But, yeah, so Roscoe's now making a move on Marvsky round the outside.
Marvsky's pushing him as much as he can.
Marvsky is on those older medium tyres again, obviously, so... Yeah, Roscoe he's now past that Renault car, and Marvsky's going to start to probably maybe fall back a bit as Reflection is staying out, as Crystal Maze is staying out as well. As Crystal Maze is coming into the pit. Kamara Race is staying out. RDW's now into P5, and he's on those hard tyres as well, so he can need company to get to the end. Dylan sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
I think Roscoe's in the best position here without a penalty.
Yeah, I think he's right. If they can get into the end and onto the back of those people that did stay out and box under that safety car, then both Sammy and Dylan, if they can get the 3 seconds to Roscoe, which I think Sammy does have at the minute, Sammy could be in here because, Sammy will have to get past everyone though, because he does have those penalties. Yeah, so Jamie Wright there in P3 as well. Be interesting to see if they do come into the pits, and it'll be interesting to see if they do feel like these tyres can get to the end. I think they might just about, but it's going to be really, really close. As we've just seen Ginger Rage now get past Theo. Theo isn't having the best of races. Always right on the edge.
Well, you just tapped the back of Ginger Rage.
Yeah,
there.
he gets a 3-second time penalty there as well. Ginger Rage only in P12, considering all the incidents he's had today.
I'm not sure if he did serve that 5-second time penalty.
So Shadows has got past Marvsky. So Marvsky's really struggling now because he's on the alternative strategy to everybody else, and he is on those medium tyres compared to the softs. So Marvsky just needs to keep a cool head, try and get to the end of the race, because there will be some guys ahead of him probably struggling towards the end of the race, maybe even in the puncture territory.
Do you know if Ginger Rage served his time penalty? 5 seconds?
I believe he didn't. Sammy has now set the fastest lap of the race, and he's already he's already closed that gap right in on RDW to just under 2 seconds now. In the space of 2 laps, he's cut down that lead massively.
Ginger Rage just lost 2 positions, I think, did he?
Yeah, he was in P12, so I'm not quite sure what happened to Ginger Rage there. He must have just got caught out by the both of the Mercedes guys.
The silver arrows or black arrows now, just like double teamed him and
oh no! Theo is he's just come together with his teammate into turn 1, and will we see a safety car from that? He's heading down the wrong way. That's quite dangerous.
Getting away.
He's just spinning the car
That's almost
around.
Sebastian Vettel, like we were talking earlier.
Yeah,
he needs to get going, otherwise it's going to be. He's just waiting to get out of the way, I think.
Yeah, he could have just reset the track there, but that's really unfortunate for Theo. He had such an amazing race last week out.
One of the best overtakes I've seen, to be honest.
Yeah, but
overtaking the season.
Crystal Maze gets a 3-second time penalty there, so that's unfortunate there for Crystal Maze. But Sammy's now right on the rear end there, as Sammy picks up another 3-second time penalty though.
That could cost him the win. Or
yeah,
the
that is really,
even.
really costly there for Sammy. He does get past RDW, but he could have been a bit more patient there, because he did have the next DRS here. Sir Dave gets a 3-second penalty as well. But yeah, that's really crucial there for Sammy, because he does have the pace to catch these guys ahead. He's not too far ahead, and we have only got 8 laps to go, as Kamara Racer gets a 5-second time for exceeding track limits. So I think Kamara Racer's cut the first chicane. I think he might have gone deep.
Oh no!
So that's a free position there for Sammy. He's up into P4 as well as RDW.
That might help Sammy out a bit, because obviously Roscoe and I are going to have to actually make the overtake on Kamara Racer now.
Yeah, it's a free position there for for Sammy.
There's another yellow flag.
I think that's for Theo.
Theo is just struggling at the back there.
Yeah, I think he might just
unfortunately for Theo, but
might have overheated those tyres.
You never know, another safety car can completely change the race, so just stick in there.
So Reflection is leading the Grand Prix with Leclerc behind, and they haven't. Well, they both made a stop under the early safety car, and Jamie here.
Reflection can't get those mediums to the end, can he?
I think they probably can with 20 laps.
Do you think he'll push as much as he can?
It's going to be close. It's going to be close. I think Leclerc will easily make it to the end, but you can see that obviously they're not optimal pace-wise, because obviously he is 3 seconds behind. But yeah, I think depending on setup, they could potentially make the mediums go to the end, because there was a couple laps that they were in the safety car. But I think Sammy is in obviously the best position because he obviously is on those soft tyres. He's only done 2 laps on them. 3 laps now.
We've seen a lot more penalties tonight than we had in gold and silver. Not many people got penalties, so I guess that's quite interesting. Obviously, we've got Jamie, Shadders, Marsky, and Smithy. Does that mean Roscoe got a penalty? Roscoe's just got Kamara Racer as well. So Roscoe's picked up a penalty. That could mean Dylan seems to be losing a bit of pace.
Yeah, Dylan's really struggled, I think, in the second set of the race. He has closed in on. He hasn't really. Yeah, he got like 3 cars between him and Sammy now, and he was only about 3 seconds behind him before. Literally talking of the devil, Dylan, he does get another 3-second time penalty, so that puts him back on par with Sammy. So the 2 leaders, I suppose, of the race, the ones you would think you could get back up towards P1, both with 2 penalties. So if Jamie can get these tyres to the end, Jamie could be within reach of the win. Same with Marvsky. Marvsky
at the minute will finish 2 places higher because he hasn't got any penalties.
Well, it could even get a lot places higher.
Yeah, a lot higher. Especially if there's a safety car.
Well, it's more if these guys at the top.
I think he might actually be up to like 6th.
If RDW, Jamie, Leclerc and Reflection all struggle towards the end on their tyre wear,
Marvsky could actually get maybe a podium.
Yeah, I think it's too late to see anyone come into the pits now. It's just not really worth it because of the loss of a pit stop compared to the time you'll be able to make up in those number of laps. So it's going to be a tyre contest now of if these 3 drivers can get to the end of the race without these tyres exploding. As Roscoe now gets past RDW before turn 1, before the braking zone, so he's got a really, really nice quick car in a straight line as Roscoe. But Sammy, as Shadders has now got past Kamara Racer, but Kamara Racer does get the move back. I think he did. Does that say he got a 3-second? Oh! What happened there?
It's
Kamara Racer's put it in the wall.
Be a safety car? He just all of a sudden.
It's a virtual safety car, quite luckily for some people, but
he just jolted to the left and spun off track.
If this virtual safety car does last about half a lap, you might see the likes of Reflection or Jamie maybe box under the virtual safety car because you won't lose as much time, but it's going to be quite a difficult one because they might shoot themselves in the foot if they do, but they might shoot themselves in the foot if they don't, because these tyres might not get to the end, but they might not. It's going to be really quite interesting. But the virtual safety car's over already, so that's going to be off the cards already. So they'll have to try and get these tyres to the end no matter what now. Reflection still leads the way with Leclerc about 2 seconds behind. Jamie in 3rd on 15 lap old medium tyres, 4 seconds behind him without any penalties, but Sammy in P4 with fresher medium soft tyres that can easily get to the end of the race, but he does have 6 seconds worth of penalties. So Sammy's got the DRS on Jamie, and he's really closing in on Jamie. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? I think he's going to go for a lunge. No, he's going to back out of it. It's quite smart there from Sammy, but I think if he gets a good run out of turn 1, I think, he's already going to be alongside Sammy, but he needs to be careful with his battery because there's still a fair few laps to go. Oh, I think he might have made a little bit of contact there with Jamie. I don't think Jamie's going to be too happy with that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact there, but luckily not too much disruption.
But Sammy's really cutting through the field again now, and he's only about 4.5 seconds off Leclerc, but now the others ahead of him do have penalties as well, so Sammy needs to get these moves done on track, as Roscoe isn't too far behind on the same lap old tyres, so Roscoe needs to get a move on as well, as Crystal Maze gets another 3-second time penalty as well. RDW is still really struggling. He can't really catch the back of RDW, which is quite shocking considering RDW's on 16 lap old hard tyres and Lidland's only on 6 lap old soft tyres. His Ginger Rage is back up into P12 now. He's not too far off the points, but RDW does get a 3-second time penalty now, so that was the one thing that RDW kind of had still going for him, that he didn't have any penalties up at that point.
I think we're going to see a massive jumble in people making different positions at the end based on time penalties. But
Leclerc started to close in on reflection now as well. It was about 3 or 4 seconds before the virtual safety car. Ginger Rage gets another 3-second time penalty. But Sammy now, it's all down to Sammy. Can Sammy... He does have the ghost car of Theo ahead of him, which is actually quite useful because it's going to give him DRS. So Sammy could use this ghost car of the lap car of Theo as kind of an advantage because he's not going to get the dirty air because I don't think ghost cars give any dirty air or slipstream or anything. But it will enable Sammy to have DRS every lap in every part of the track whether the DRS is available. So Sammy could be quite happy with Theo being sat ahead of him. Yeah, so that's going to help propel as Dylan now does get past RDW. I think, was that RDW making a mistake there? I think it could have been. He did look like he wasn't taking the normal line through.
Sammy has already gained 3 seconds on Jamie, which at the minute, like Jamie hasn't got any penalties. I think Sammy's got maybe at least 6 to 9.
I think he's got 6. I think. Sammy.
Yeah, it's around that. So Sammy needs to get a move on and. Theo I think.
Has put it into the wall, and Theo has retired from the race, unfortunately, there for Theo. He did just drop it off the edge of the Scari. And we've got a safety car!
Oh,
wow.
No!
That's really going to throw the spanner in the works now, because...
I think we might see Jamie, Marvsky, they could be laughing right now with no penalties.
Yeah, and Marvsky definitely, because we've only... Well, I think the safety car's only going to be out for 1 lap, because it usually pumps in, so... I think if I was
Marvsky, I wouldn't go out.
Yeah, Marvsky needs to stay out, I think. And he's done a cut box. I think that might be the wrong move there from Marvsky. Because the safety car's not going to bunch him up too much, and he doesn't have those penalties. So he's going to cost himself track position, but everyone will be bunched up. So, Sammy, but Jamie I think Jamie could potentially have done the right thing now. Because it's all dependent on whether or not I think we could see Jamie in the win here.
Yeah, same.
It all depends on whether he can get those medium tyres to the end, because everyone behind him has decided to either stay out other than RDW or, other than RDW and Jamie, everyone has boxed or stayed out on their soft tyres.
Marvsky's coming out of the pits in 10th, so, I mean, as it stands, he would finish 3rd probably on penalties.
Well, 2nd even, most likely.
Maybe 2nd, yeah, so...
so we're not really sure what's next. Well, I can have a look at the penalty situation, actually, and that can kind of tell us. But, Sammy with 6 seconds worth of time penalties, and Roscoe only with only 3. So the likes of Sammy and Dylan and RDW are going to be the ones that are probably going to lose out most here, because they do have more penalties than anyone else. See, safety car already in this lap. Wow. So the likes of... sorry, I've got the wrong thing on there. Interval to... That one, yep, and penalties we want on tyres. The likes of Cryptic Alibi, Sir Dave, and Ginger Rage, also Smithfield Mighty, they're just not going to have the time to get back on the edge of it, back up the pack, because their safety car's already in, and they're already about half a lap behind. As Cryptic Alibi gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cut in there. But yeah, so we've got a 2-lap sprint now to the end of the race.
This could change everything.
Sammy's dropped it. Sammy's jumped the gun, and he's restarted this race now, and he's had a really, really nice exit there.
Somehow Roscoe's already got Jamie before the start-finish line. So
yeah, that kind of be an interesting one to see. But it's Dylan's already making a move on RDW. No, sorry, RDW's going to try and make a move back.
Oh no!
Reflection's got into the back of Dylan there, and RDW gets back up into 4th position as. Jamie's now really under pressure from the likes of RDW and Dylan.
Those almost 20-year-old lap-old mediums and RDW on those hards are going to be like dead right now.
Yeah, I think Reflections. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, Dylan is making a move up the inside, and Leclerc's mopping up those positions as well. While a few people have made a few mistakes, so Leclerc's up to P6 now. And Reflection has dropped down a little bit, and RDW is going to really start to struggle now with all these fresh softs behind him. But Sammy now really needs to try and push now. He's got 1.5 laps to go.
Shadow's just got Vintage.
Yeah, so Shadows has just got past Vintage, going into the Shikari chicane, and Marsky's on the outside, and he gets past Vintage as well. As Leclerc now passed RDB through the exit of the Sky chicane, but Sammy now comes through the Parabolica for the last, onto the last lap. He does go really wide, and Roscoe now.
Dylan just getting Jamie.
Yeah, Dylan's now up to P3, but Roscoe's right on the back end of Sammy now. Sammy needs to keep that car ahead of Roscoe because they both have 6 seconds worth of penalties now.
I think Roscoe has 3.
And Roscoe's gone for the switchback move, but he didn't quite get it done. But he's right on the edge now, right on the rear end. But Leclerc.
Oh, he's gone over the bollocks.
Yeah, I think Leclerc might have gone for a bit of a dive bomb there on Dylan. Might not have come worked out.
Dylan, what's happened? He's lost loads of positions.
Oh, Dylan dropped down to 6th. He just got a really, really bad exit. He dropped down to 7th now. RDB back ahead. Reflection there, back in P5. But
I think Roscoe at the minute is looking for the win. I think because he's only got a 3-second time penalty.
Well, I think it's going to be. Yeah, no, I think I'm not quite sure.
Jamie is he's lost too much time. I think. But he should be still on for the podium.
He didn't have those medium tyres to be screaming. His reflection gets another 3-second time penalty. But Sammy is still in the lead, and we'll have to stick with this battle now because Roscoe's right on the rear end of Sammy.
I think Roscoe just needs to stay behind. I think he's made up enough time from Jamie.
What is the penalty situation? As Ginger Age gets another 3-second time penalty there, but yeah, we've seen Sammy come through the Parabolica any second now as Roscoe's going to dive bomb into the Parabolica on the last lap of the race, but Sammy does come through to cross the line in a net P1. I'm not sure what's going to happen with penalty situation, but Roscoe does technically win the Grand Prix. Leclerc takes P2, I think.
Will Jamie get it? Jamie does!
Jamie gets P3, so Roscoe wins. We've got Leclerc in P2. Jamie in P3, Marvsky in P4. Sammy only drops down to P5, which is going to be quite disappointing, I think, because he was leading the race.
Penalties ruined it for him.
Yeah, they really did. Reflection there in P6. RDW scoring his first points of the season in P7. That's a really good job from RDW.
So did Vintage, his first points as well.
That's really unfortunate for Dylan. He did drop those few positions there, all the way down in P9. Shadows in P10. Crystal Maze only in P11. That's really unfortunate also for Crystal Maze. He does have damage, so I'm not quite sure what happened on the last couple of laps there. Smithy and Whitey in P12. Ginger Rage all the way in 13th.
I'm pretty sure that might mean that Roscoe leads the championship as it stands.
Well, the Tifosi are going to be buzzing right now. Ferrari win around Monza. They're going to be loving life with that Ferrari. Roscoe, I think he's had an amazing season so far as Roscoe. He's been so consistent. Sammy's saying the pens are wrong. So maybe we haven't seen the exact...
Yeah, this might not be the exact results, but as it stands on the board, obviously Leclerc gets driver of the day. I think he had a brilliant race. Unfortunate, he had a bad qualifying, but yeah, that was an exciting race with that safety car right at the end, throwing things left, right, and centre. It was a exciting race. So apparently,
I'm not quite sure what happens with the penalties, but Sammy's saying the pens are wrong, so...
As far as I can tell, they were right, because Sammy did pick up quite a few penalties during the race, so...
but yeah, Roscoe, obviously, as far as the games were, he did win the race. It might be... And he does get fastest lap as well.
So we'll be... if Roscoe, maybe Leclerc and Jamie could get into the pie, invites will be out shortly.
So, Roscoe wins the Italian Grand Prix in the red Ferrari there. It's an awesome job from Roscoe. Leclerc, a really good job from P13 there, moving all the way up to P2. Jamie having a really good race as well, coming into P3. Marvsky, he's had a pretty solid race considering the situation to finish in P4. Sammy in P5 with pole position. Probably
brilliant
too
pace,
happy.
Especially the first stint there.
Yeah, he had a really good race, but just unfortunate with the timing of safety cars and penalties and everything. Reflection in P6, RDW in P7, Vintage in P8, Dylan in P9, Shadows in P10, Crystal Maze in P11, Smithy in P12, Ginger Rage in P13, Sir Dave in P14, Cryptic Alibi in P15, and then the DNFs we did have Theo, Kamara Racer, Lewis Williams, Silent Shifting, and Booty Delight. So yeah, we'll see.
That was a thoroughly entertaining race, though, I have to say.
We should jump into the other party, I think, because I think we're in the wrong one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just going to join the other party quickly.
We're going to get some interviews hopefully in the way, because we haven't had any so far. So if anyone of the podium sitters can join us in the commentary box, that would be amazing. I don't know if any of them are here now.
No, not as it stands. No one's in the commentary box.
Yeah, we'll just have a little bit of a wait to see if anyone does join us in the gantry. Sammy saying he is annoyed. I think Jamie saying he should have been ahead of Leclerc because he did have 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Maybe well, the admins will have a look after, so just keep an eye out for the race results after. But We'll get that sorted as soon as we can. But as it stands, we'll just talk to as it stands the podium sitters right now. So just see if they will join. But yeah, that was a brilliant race though. All three races have actually been really entertaining.
Yeah, that was especially it was definitely a different race because as we
you got Jamie join the party.
Yeah, Jamie, talk us through your race there, mate. Obviously, the safety car and getting no penalties did obviously quite help you out a little bit there. But yeah, staying out on those medium tyres at the end, I think probably was the right thing to do because you definitely gained a lot of track position with people with penalties and stuff, especially because you didn't have any. But should you have got ahead of Leclerc? Are you saying?
I think so, because he had 6 seconds, and I don't know how I'm after getting a podium, to be honest, I'm shaking with you. I was in P16 and P18 on the first safety car, and they just said, I've nothing to lose, might as well just stick it out.
Yeah, that's how powerful not getting any penalties can be, especially with a late safety car.
So were those medium tyres, towards the end really, really horrible to drive on? Because you did look like you were kind of falling back a little bit compared to the people that did box for those softs.
They weren't bad, like they were only like 74, if I think my top left was. And the pace, I was just trying to not get penalties, and I was just trying to. Well, to be honest, I was just scared. To be honest, I won't let you.
Yeah, we were quite unsure up here if you were going to get a puncture or not. But yeah, you did a major job to look after those tyres, and obviously whether or not if it was P3 or P2, we're not quite sure. But yeah, hopefully the admins and everything can have a look at that, and maybe you will jump up to that P2 position. But yeah, awesome job for you today, mate.
I say I could have got pole if I did push, but I said I'd just keep it out and not even try push, to be honest. Because they were all in softs, so I said I'd just stick it out.
Yeah, I think you probably were the better off thing to do because you had the likes of Marvsky, obviously everyone boxed at the end, and they didn't have any penalties, and they obviously came out a lot further behind and struggled to get through the traffic. So I think doing what you did was definitely the right thing to do, especially considering you didn't have any of the penalties. So yeah, really amazing race.
Yeah, when the actual safety car came out at the end, I was only on like 67% when it started. Like that was my worst tire.
Oh yeah, so you did a really good job of looking after those tyres for 18 odd laps then. Yeah, as Leclerc, just said in the comments that he did only have 3 seconds worth of penalties. So.
Oh, I thought he had 6.
So yeah, I think she will be P3 then, and I think Leclerc will be P2. But P3 still an amazing job. Your first podium in bronze, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good job.
It's a brilliant result.
Push McLaren up the standings as well.
Yeah, that's definitely and yourself up the driver's standings. So yeah, I think you're going to be the only one to join us here in the party tonight.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think anyone else is joining. So yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow in ALR COBALT, same track obviously. That's going to be interesting to watch. And next week we got Singapore, which is not the easiest of tracks.
Well, you're going from one of the quickest tracks to the longest time-wise. So next week's going to be a long one. So everyone's going to definitely want to get some practice in and make sure that they've got in the right frame of mind for a long haul for next week.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week and tomorrow again for ALR COBALT. But next week we've got Singapore. So we'll see you then. Goodbye.